Hello, and welcome to Random Reviews. Today I'll be reviewing the IFWATER USB camera module. This camera boasts 5 megapixels with 2592 by 1944 resolution. One great thing about it is that it's plug and play, meaning that you can just use the USB, plug it into your computer, and it just works. It doesn't need any drivers, it doesn't need any setup, you just put it in. Here's the thing though. The downside is that it's just a module. There is no case for it. It's just out in the open, the chip with the lens and the USB. I decided, crazy person that I am, to make my own case for it because I didn't have one that would fit. They don't really seem to have any cases that are specific for their modules. You kind of just gotta either have something that might work or make your own, like I did. I would not recommend this, but it's what I did. Anyway, now to go on a tangent of how I made said case. So I started off looking at an old phone case of mine, and it kind of fit, it kind of worked, but then I had another idea, a stranger idea. I noticed that it seemed to be weirdly perfectly fit in this 3DS cartridge case I had. I cleaned it up and it was ready to use. I started out using a box cutter, which I thought wouldn't work at first, so I ended up trying to use various tools, but not really. I kind of just started and realized that was not a good idea, and went back to the box cutter. In my opinion, box cutters are basically just a bigger form of an X-Acto knife, so that's why I didn't use it in a case like this. And the box cutter did work. I just had to press very hard on it because it's, hard plastic, but eventually I did get through it. So I cut some holes in it, I ended up separating all the pieces, cut some more holes in it, and eventually I did make a pretty good case for it. Once again though, I really do not recommend doing this, but if you wanted to try, here's proof that it can work. And now that I have committed technological atrocities, I have to see if this even works. And it works. As soon as I pressed the change camera button, it showed up. Before I get to quality, I'd like to point out something. You almost certainly cannot use this with the most modern phones. I bought a USB to USB-C adapter just for this, and to my dismay, it does not work. It doesn't work with the default camera app, and I tried a few different USB camera apps on the App Store. Finally, with one of them, it actually told me what was wrong. I'm not sure about iPhone, because I don't have one so I can't test it. However, with Android, anything above operating system Android 10 is not compatible with any USB camera. I have an old phone with an Android operating system below that. However, that phone doesn't have USB-C. I don't think I want to buy another adapter just for that. Not to mention that most of the apps that are used for this seem to be more on the sketchy side. Some of them seem to be the exact same app, and one of them I've even heard might be spyware, so be careful out there. So yeah, sadly this camera seems to be mainly, unless you really try hard, it's mainly confined to the computer. And now we get to quality. So, here's the thing. It's not the worst thing in the world, obviously. However, it is grainy. The first shot I did with low lighting, but the next shot I did with normal lighting, overhead lighting, and it still looked grainy. So I'm sorry to say, but my final review would probably be a 3 out of 5 stars. If you want a basic webcam, one that doesn't need to be any sort of high quality just for meetings or something, then honestly, this isn't a bad option. But if you wanted it for something like, say, streaming, or even taking small pictures with your webcam, or taking it on the go in any sense, then I'd say skip on this one. That's all I got for this review. I hope to be making random reviews regularly. How regularly, one may ask? Well, it really depends on the review, because I'm going to be doing things like from this camera type of module to a folder. Seriously, that's going to be a thing. So I'll see you there. Oh, and one more thing. I will be leaving links to any products I mention in these videos in the description. Okay, now that's it.